welcome back to the red thread of happiness. I don't know when you'll see this post, but at the time we are shooting this, Italy is closed because the coronavirus is infecting weak and sick people there, and there's a general hysteria worldwide that would fit the plague with its high mortality rate. I do not want to trivialize the coronavirus, but the reactions to it do not fit a mortality rate of 2 to 3%. So what's going on? Well, for one thing, the panic is being fueled by the media, which plunged sensationally into the reporting. The way a thing is reported controls the reactions to it. Each letter, each sentence, word, each gesture, each emphasis as an energy that can trigger emotions and then also actions. This is well known and is also used for various purposes. It remains to be seen whether this always benefits us, but the hysteria has even more reasons. As I mentioned in our newsletter number 135, this virus has apparently triggered a collective memory, namely the plague epidemics of the Middle Ages, which wiped out a quarter of the world population of that time. Please be aware that even if you do not believe in reincarnation, the past is literally in our bones, in our genes. All the people who live today are descendant from the remaining population of that time. Everything that happens to us is recorded in our genes and passed on through the following generations. That is why we still have to deal with both world wars, because the traumatic experiences from there still control our behavior, believe it or not. And as we can now see, the epidemics from there do the same. Through the confrontation with the coronavirus, we are now forced to contend the fears that we have inside of us regarding infections, diseases. If there really is to be a new era in which our planet and we as a population are whole again, then this cannot happen if we feel and behave completely traumatized, because this has brought us to this abyss. This season of the red thread is called "Where are you going?" One could ask further questions. What other burdens do you carry with you on your own way? What do you have to let go of? Where do we go as a race, and what burdens do we carry as a whole? Where do we come from? Is there a pre-designed path for the where from and where to? Is our history and therefore our present controlled by anyone? Could it be that there is a plan, including one of dealing with our history? Could it be that people gain insight into the plan every now and then? How else could one explain the fact that before the sinking of the Titanic, a whole novel was published that tells the exact story of the iceberg collision, and in which the ship is also called Titan? How else could one explain that even the coronavirus was foreseen? So, if we assume that we get help in this difficult age, what kind of help could it be? There is scientific research that shows that there is a striking correlation between the sun's activity and even on Earth, as if the sun was controlling history. Could we get help from that? Originally, in a later episode, I wanted to talk more about the halo phenomenon we call the portal of the Irantia oasis of happiness and academy of light. But the current events have moved me to take this digression ahead of our lucky series. Have you ever seen such a circle around the sun? It is more common than a rainbow, where the arc becomes a circle when you are high enough in the air. For example, from an airplane you can see it. This circle is formed by ice crystals through which sunlight falls by reflection, just like the rainbow. The halo can often be seen for a long time as long as the ice crystals remain in the air. They slowly fall to earth like snowfall. Not a single ice crystal will ever repeat itself, not in the entire cosmos. There are so many variations, believe it or not. Of course, the halo is a physical phenomenon and can be explained by the laws of nature. But, as already mentioned, everything we can perceive and also everything that exists and that we cannot perceive has an energy content. Such a portal often appears when we hold ceremonies or seminars, and so also on Sunday the 8th of March 2020, in the middle of the European corona crisis. Various events have made it clear to me that we should use this portal so that we can tackle the overall topic of epidemics. In the Oasis of Happiness, you will find a film which generally solves the resonances to epidemics. In the second part of the excursion, we will work in detail on the topic of epidemics, namely to extract the energy for your personal life and for everyone else. You will find how to do it this in part 2.